Hello everybody, and today is December the 11th, so we need to look together at which story will be from our advent calendar. Now, do you remember that I told you that in an advent calendar the numbers are not in sequence, so they don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Instead, they're in random order, so I need to look for number 11. Oh yes, here it is. So the story today, you notice Father Christmas sitting on the shelf. Well, he's having a little rest, but I wonder who is next to him. Can you see on my t-shirt I have a penguin. A penguin is a flightless bird. Yes, it's Penguin. Now, penguins are associated with Christmas because we like to do lots of displays for Christmas that include birds and animals from the North Pole. So, penguin, I wonder what the story is today. Oh yes, this is one of my favourite stories too. This story is called Dory. I think that must be a name. Let me put my reading glasses on and we will see. Remember, we're reading the blurb. That's what we call the information at the back of the book. Forgetful Dory is very happy living in the ocean with her friends Marlin and Nemo. But one day, memories of her long forgotten parents come flooding back to her. With the help of her friends, can Dory finally discover her past? Well, do you remember the last story was all about a mermaid, and the mermaid lived in the sea. So this is about a fish who lives in the sea. Oh, hello Penguin, you've come to join us, yes. Oh, Penguin is shy. In fact, Penguin is shyer than Father Christmas, because do you remember last time, although he was shy, he had a go at the reading. And Penguin, yes, Penguin's far too shy, look. So did you notice me use the comparative adjective there when I said Penguin is shyer than Father Christmas? Well, Penguin, what are we going to do about that? Oh, he wants to ask me a question. Well, let's see if anybody knows. Penguin's looking at my big mug of tea here. Can you see on the mug it says Bar Humbug? Well, do you know, I always think of the phrase Bar Humbug as coming from the character Ebenezer Scrooge. Now, Ebenezer Scrooge is a character from a book written by Charles Dickens, and the title of this book is A Christmas Carol, and I think I will have a look later in my library to see if I can find a copy to share with you. Now, do you know that the word humbug originally was meant to be some hoax or refer to a fraudster? So the origin of the word goes far back. In fact, I think it goes further than the Christmas Carol. Yes, I think it really goes back to about the mid-1700s, and we associate the phrase Bar Humbug with people who don't really like Christmas, and it's supposed to suggest that Christmas is a hoax. But we all know, don't we, Christmas isn't a hoax, and we can actually say that's not shy. Yes, I know you're shyer than Father Christmas. Penguin is asked, could I read for him? And sometimes that's a really good idea. If you're quite shy, or if you're not quite sure that you can read well in another language, then it's sometimes a good idea to read with somebody else or to ask somebody else to read it for you. Now, do you know, I was trying to learn the Arabic alphabet, and it's going to be a long way before I get to reading in Arabic, yes. So I have to ask the lovely ladies in class and the gentlemen who have Arabic as their first language if they will help me out. So we all need to ask for help at some time. Well, look, penguin. Yes, I can see it's a fish. And the story is called Finding Dory. So you're going to help me with that. Yes, it's a little bit difficult, isn't it? I'm quite clumsy today. That's another adjective to add to our keywords. So, Dory was a little blue tang who lived with her parents. From a very young age, Dory had trouble remembering things. Yes, that is like me. "Hi, I'm Dory," she would say, and then she would explain that she had short-term memory loss. Do you know what that means? Yes, that's when I can't remember something that hasn't happened very long ago. Yes, I know I do that. Do you remember when we're in class and I say, has anybody seen my glasses? But then a lovely lady came up with an idea to attach some, could have been string, yes, to my glasses so that I could put it around my neck. Where is it now? Oh, well, I've put it down somewhere, and so I've had to find another pair of glasses. "Hi, I'm Dory," she would say, and then she would explain that she had short-term memory loss. Dory's mum and dad did everything they could to stop her from getting lost. Yes, it is the same for me. People help me if I don't know where I'm going, and sometimes they help me from one room to another. Wow. One day, Dory couldn't find her way home. Dory just kept on swimming and swimming, getting further and further away from her home. Time passed, and Dory grew up, but she still asked every fish she met if they had seen her parents. That's really sad, isn't it? If you don't know where your parents are and you've travelled further away from your parents and you don't know how to get back. So Dory had to ask her friends for help, and that's really useful when you're lost, is to ask somebody that you know who can help you. So off they went out in the sea to look for her parents. Just then, Dory was scooped up by a human and carried away in a boat. Oh no, that doesn't sound very good, does it? No. Well, what happens next? So penguin, if you can help me turn the pages, we'll find out what happened. All of the fish who had been caught were being put in a bucket. Well, Dory felt it was very important that she got into that bucket. They must be going somewhere. So she did. Moments later, Dory was tipped into a large pool, which was home to a whale shark called Destiny. Yes, we can show the picture if you want to, so that everybody knows what does a shark look like. Are you helping me there, penguin, to do that? I wonder if it's a friendly shark. So the two got talking, and Destiny realised that she'd known Dory when they were young. Well, that's really good, isn't it? If you lose your parents and then you find somebody who knows all about where your home used to be. So Dory thought perhaps she could find her way back. And one of the ladies who came to the centre was pushing a pushchair. So Dory jumped into the pushchair because on the seat of the pushchair there was a small cup of water. Yes, I was getting a bit worried there too, thinking the fish needs to live in water. But I think Dory's found the answer. Well, when the little boy came back to his pushchair and he saw a fish in the cup of water, he said, "We need to put the fish back into the sea." And that's exactly what they did. So Dory was put back into the sea and she saw a trail of shells. And do you remember at that point Dory thought, "Ooh, I recognise those shells." And so she decided to follow the trail of shells. Dory then swam in circles. She didn't know what to do next. Then a friendly crab spoke to Dory and said that he had seen Dory's parents be taken away to a quarantine. Do you know what the word quarantine is? Quarantine is a word that means that you put people in a place that other people, fish or animals, can't have access to. I wonder why they did that. So apparently Dory's parents had been sent to quarantine years ago and nobody knew what had happened to them. Oh, I know, that's very sad, isn't it? And we use the phrase heartbroken. Dory was heartbroken. Oh no, now she's on her own again. She's alone. So she swam through the water and she didn't know what to do. Suddenly, 2 blue tangs appeared. Dory gasped. Wow, they were her mother and father. Dory's parents had been let out of quarantine and they had been setting trails of shells, hoping that one day Dory would follow them to get home. And that's exactly what she did. So, how does Dory feel now? Dory feels really happy because now she's returned to her whole family. So in the story it tells you she was happier than she had ever been. And that's a comparative adjective, isn't it? Because we use the adjective happy, and when we compare one thing or person that's happy to another that's happy, they might be slightly different. So penguin might be happier than Santa, and Santa might be happier than penguin. So that's how we use the comparative adjective when we're comparing it to 2 things. Now, what about if we added me to that? So we have Jane, penguin, Santa, and the adjective happy. Well, when you have more than 2 people or things, then you use the word happiest. So now that's called the superlative. So I'm sorry guys, but out of all of us, I am the happiest. And that's the end of our story today. So thank you to Penguin for helping out there, and thank you for Santa for helping us to understand the idea of making the adjective happy into comparative, happier, and superlative, happiest. And I wonder who will be joining me tomorrow for tomorrow's story, taken from the Advent calendar. So there we go, guys. Tune in tomorrow and we will see who will be reading the Advent story. Bye now.